It is Tuesday, January 25th here at the West End Gun Club. We're out here this morning to do a run through of the February 2025 NRL22 Course of Fire. Course of Fire got published a few days ago, actually before we held our match on Sunday for the January Course of Fire. But it was raining and cold that morning, so I didn't want to spend the time after the match swapping targets to the different stands. So I did that this morning in the dark, got here early to swap out all the targets for the new Course of Fire. And I kind of already pre-planned where I'm going to lay out the stages. And I warmed up my gun, so let's go ahead and just dive right into the Course of Fire. It's about 40 degrees this morning. It's kind of cold. I have my jacket unzipped because I realized earlier when I was recording that the microphone on top of my jacket was catching a bunch of friction. So I have my microphone, my lapel mic on my lanyard here on top of my shirt, so it's not picking up noise. So that's what I'm going to run this morning with this microphone. In any case, first stage we're going to run through is called You Stole My Heart, But I Won't Press Charges. 12-round stage, 120-second part time. 2-inch target and 95 yards, so only one target. 2-inch, single hanger, 95 yards. It's a ladder stage. Restriction is no rungs may be repeated. Your standard deal, standing, rifle to high ready, all gear in hand, mag in action open. On the start signal, engage the target with 3 shots from each position, utilizing a chosen rung from each position. You're going to shoot standing, 3 shots, kneeling, 3 shots, sitting, 3 shots, prone, 3 shots, all on different rungs. However, they have this note here, the prone position may be utilized on the prop or next to it from the ground, which I don't understand what that means, because if you're supposed to use a rung, I don't know how you're going to shoot next to it. It's implying that you could use your bipod, but I'm not entirely sure what that really means. I don't really know. Maybe they're going to release some errata to clarify what that means, but I'm just going to shoot the bottom rung prone, basically. It doesn't say that you have to shoot it in the specific order, although I will probably just go ahead and start standing, kneeling, sitting, then prone, just work my way down as opposed to getting up off the ground. Let's go and try this one out. Should be pretty straightforward. Standing. And I pulled that one. I saw that one go. Okay. 3. You need a mag change in this, as I do. Kneeling. I'm going to do my mag change here because I'm in a good position for it. Now sitting, I think we need to be butt on the ground in some fashion. So, get butt on the ground. Then prone, 30 seconds to shoot prone, 34 roughly. Plenty of time. Don't really need the bag, I guess I do, kind of, just to support my elbow here. All right, pretty easy. It's a pretty straightforward stage. I just went ahead and shot in order as it listed here, standing, kneeling, sitting, prone. And I started off the second rung from the top. Some people can start from the first. And then in between, you just want to adjust which rung you're going to use for your body type. Shooting at upward angle, so for me, I think this is just fine. I may have just went this, I might think about going tall on the ladder, simply because I can let my gun rest a little better and I can cheat and not really shoulder the rifle and just let it sit like it's sitting on a bench. So I might just do that. I did miss a shot there on standing. Did I miss a shot on standing? I did. Did I miss anywhere else? I can't remember. In any case, I pulled around, and for sure. But other than that, that's like the only issue is just making sure that you build a good position there and kind of get your gun in the right spot. It's a, what is it, a 3-inch target? So it's, no, a 2-inch target. Not too large, not too small, but just make a stable position, you should be fine. I used a second bag, so I have my just rail mounted bag and then my big mega bag, which kind of you don't need. I can get away with a pump hill, it's kind of big for the prone. But I did use it to fill my body here on sitting, just because it made more sense. And to define kneeling, at least for what I would do as a match director, or I am going to do, I define kneeling as at least one knee on the ground. So you need to have one knee on the ground for kneeling. You can do two if you want, at least, but one, at least one. And then for sitting, it's going to require butt on the ground. This, I'm not going to qualify this as sitting, as far as people trying to get their butt close to the ground like this. If you can, that's going to be kind of weird. Or sitting on your foot. This is technically a kneeling position, in my opinion. So your butt needs to be on the ground. And that's how I'll interpret sitting. And sitting, I went here for the second to lowest rung to shoot upwards. And I just used this mega bag for body fill, just to fill in my body, and then kind of adapted it for prone, just to rest my elbow on that, just so it's more stable. But that's pretty much it. There's not really much else as far as tips I can give you. Just make sure you dial for it because it's a single target, set your parallax, and then I shot on like maybe 13 magnification roughly. But that's it. Let's move on to the next stage. Next stage of fire we're running through is called Do You Believe in Love at First Sight, or Should I Walk By Again? It's a 12-round stage. It's an interesting setup here. But we have two banks of targets. We have 1.5 on a double hanger at 75, and we have a 3-inch on a double hanger at 100 yards. No real restrictions here. 100 part time, of course. And then we have a barrel on its side. 3 tires stacked, and a sawhorse with this lower shelf here. I'm using a 2x4. We're going to start standing, rifle the high ready, all gear in hand, mag in action open. On the start signal, engage the targets from the designated props in the following manner. Prop number 1, 121. Prop number 2, 212. Prop number 3, 121. Prop number 4, 212. Props may be used in any order. Props are the 55-gallon barrel, tires stacked, top of sawhorse, and sawhorse shelf. Club-provided tripod may be used as a rear support. Oh, so I should grab a tripod. Oh, that might change how I shoot this, maybe. Yeah, it might change how I shoot this. But so we have the props are numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4, however you want to number them. And then the 1 will be the barrel, 2 will be the tire stack, 3 will be, or a third will be the top of the sawhorse, and the 4th will be the lower shelf, or this bar that we have here. So we have 4 props. You have to use all 4 of them, and you will shoot in any order of the props you want, but you're always going to do 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You can try to game this however you want. I'm just going to shoot left to right because it's just simpler. To me, it's just simpler just run left to right and down. I mean, you're staring down range. It's up to you. I wouldn't try to juggle like sawhorse, tire, bottom of sawhorse, then barrel, because now you're just moving left and right, and you're just wasted movements in my opinion. So I'm running left to right, and I might use my tripod apparently. So I'm gonna use the tripod that I set up for the match, which is going to be a TVC 22i, the long version, or the full-size version. We'll just use that one, and that's the club-provided tripod. So let me go bust that out and try the stage out. shear. California. 212. All right, finished with 16 seconds. A little bit inefficient with the tripod, but we're fine. This stage is pretty straightforward. You just need to be efficient with your movements here. The stage says that the optional rear support tripod will be fully deployed prior to start. So I fully extended this thing. It's kind of tall because it's the TVC22i, and I just like to designate this as the club tripod because it's easy to adjust as needed. Fully deployed. I don't know if it means it has to be fully extended, but it is like the legs are out. So I'll get clarification on that, of whether or not that means that the legs have to be fully extended out, because it's kind of tall. So if you want it set up however you want it set up, I think some people might want to just do it a little bit smaller to make it easier to move around. And also I need to get clarification whether or not you have to hold it at the start of the stage. I did, just to try to hold it while I started the stage as part of my gear. Held over my head. I kind of shut underneath it, which you don't want to do, but I was holding it with my left hand because I was trying to hit my MDT crusher timer at the same time. So just weird things with electronics. Traditionally, you don't want to do it like that. Just hold it with one hand, hold your rifle in the other. If you can, hold your rifle with your support hand, and then your trigger hand holds here, and then just drop it into place. Get down, pull in, and that's how you should go. So that's how you should normally do it. Don't look at how I shot it, because I was trying to hold all the different things and then hit my button on my shot timer at the same time. So, but that's my advice there, is just hold. If we have to hold it, rifle, support hand if you're right-handed, then right hand with your tripod, just dip down, control rifle, and go. And then just move. You can kind of either push this over or lift and move. You don't want to kind of drag it because it might fold on you. You might struggle with that. So just kind of pick it up, move it along, set down, shoot, pick it up, move it along, set down, and then shoot. And it works just as well for prone, quasi-prone off this. So you don't need another bag. I would just go tripod and front bag. People who aren't comfortable with tripods, maybe you'll just decide not to use a tripod. But I think you may as well. To me, it's better than using a second bag. And especially a big bag, which is going to be cumbersome to use up here. Try to do a high kneeling, feel your body position with a high kneeling, and then do this. I think, in all honesty, with the uphill angle here, you can probably just shoot it without a bag and high kneel with a knee up. But if the tripod's available to you, might as well. You might like it here on the tire, because at least at West End Gun Club, I have like these squishy tires, and people are like, "Wow, why can't we should get like bigger, stouter off-road tires." And I do have some, but I figure, why not just use these? It makes it more fun and more challenging to just have to deal with the wobbly tire. But that's just me. No other advice here. Just remember your order: 1-2-1, 2-1-2, 1-2-1, 2-1-2. And like I said before, just shoot it left to right. I don't know. I don't see any point in gaming it and trying to pick one prop first, then the other, and then moving back and forth. Just shoot straight left to right, and it makes things easier for you, in my opinion. Let's move on to the next stage. Next stage we're running through is called "You Must Be Tired." You've been running through my mind all day. 10-round stage, and as you can see, it's a tank trap stage. We have a single bank of targets. It's a 2.5 and a 3-inch on a double hanger at 94 yards. No real restrictions here, and this is the bonus stage, so if you finish with extra time on the clock, you get bonus points. You start standing, rifle at the high ready, all gear in hand, mag in action open. On the start signal, engage the targets with one shot each, large then small, from the following positions in order: center of the tank trap, each tip, center of the trap. They say each tip, so you can put those in any order you want. So if you want to shoot the rear one first, right one first, left one first, it doesn't matter, but you have to shoot all 3 tips, then go back to the center. So center, tips, center. It's basically large, small. So 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2 for 10 rounds. Pretty straightforward. Let's run through this one. up on there. That didn't sound right. Oh, I'm short around. Why am I short around? 9 rounds only. 7814 would have finished at 70, maybe 73. Had 9 rounds in the bag. My bad. It's your typical tank trap stage, not much to say here. I am using the rail changer bag, Area 49, on their grip changer plate, not the full-on gamer plate. The reason I do that is because it allows me to adjust the rifle a little bit more as if it were a full wide plate. I can, if it's on a canted position, I can just tilt the rifle accordingly and I'm good to go. But just drop on the center, and it's kind of cheap with a heavy gun because I have a nice stable bag, heavy gun. I can literally just put this gun on target and let it sit there and just pull the trigger. It's really simple. It's on there. I don't have to shoulder the gun. It's really stable. Really gamer, but that's how I shoot it. As far as the tank trap tips, just move to whatever tip you want. You can go, I went to far left. Maybe I should have just came straight back. I shot kind of standing and crouched down. In retrospect, given how our tank trap is, I could have just shot kneeling. Would have been more stable. That was the most unstable position because I was crouched so far down. So the way we have this tank trap set up, I'm likely going to shoot kneeling, or we'll just adopt a, I don't know, I'll probably adopt a kneeling position. But that was the most unstable for me during the run. And then from here, if you want to go, if you go left and you're a right-handed shooter, you can just lean up on this and you're fine. And then left one or the right one, you just have to make sure you have a good stable bag. This is a pint size. In retrospect, a larger bag would be better for this situation, simply because you have a wider area of contact, but I make it work. So anyway, that's it for this stage. Let's move on to the next one. Next stage of fire we're running through is called If I Could Arrange the Alphabet, I'd Put You and I Together. It's a 12-round stage. We have 3 banks of targets. We have a 1-inch on a single hanger at 50, a 2.5 on a single hanger at 88, and a 3-inch on a single hanger at 99 yards. We have a pyramid, as you can see here. Restriction, each position must involve a change in rungs. Positions may not be repeated. So you're changing rungs and you're also changing what side of the rung you're going to be on. 12-round stage, as I said earlier, you're going to start standing, rifle at the high ready, all gear in hand, mag in action open. On the start signal, engage the targets from the pyramid in the following order. Position 1, 1, 2, 3. Position 2, 2, 3, 1. Position 3, 3, 1, 2. Position 4, 1, 2, 3. So you're going to shoot 4 different positions. You're going to have to take 4 different unique locations, and you must change a rung. So you can't just go right to left or left to right. You have to go rung to rung. But you're going to take 4 distinct positions, and you're going to do 1, 2, 3, where it's going to be near to far. So the nearest to 50 is 1, 88 is 2, 99 is 3. So 1, 2, 3. Next position 2, 3, 1. Next position 3, 1, 2. Next position 1, 2, 3. So the easiest way to remember this is you're going to start 1, 2, 3. Then the next one you're going to start at number 2, but work your way out and back. So 2, 3, and then cycle to 1. Then you're going to start at the farthest one and cycle back 1, 2. Then you're going to start back 1, 2, 3. So you're always going to start 1, then you're going to start 2, then you're going to start 3 and go back to 1. But you're going to shoot them in order and, circle back around. Pretty easy to remember if you think about it that way. But let's go ahead and try this one out. One, two, three. My hole's 1.3. 1.8 roughly. Barely hit that one. 2. Okay, we gotta switch rungs coming across. So 3, 1, 2. Plenty of time. We're going to do a mag change here. switch rungs and shoot 1, 2, 3 again. Pretty straightforward. 88.85 elapsed. It's a pretty simple stage. My tactic was basically to just stay on the top side, the highest one, because that's where I'm most stable shooting the pyramid, at least at this facility. And I went here, started like the second from the top, then went up one, then went down one, crossed, and went back up, because you have to change rungs, and also you have to change positions. So didn't say you can repeat the same rung, but you just had to switch rungs during the stage, so or between each position. So I went one up, I started here, went up one, went back down across, and came back up. So I stayed on the top portion of the pyramid. You may have different tactics. Maybe you want to start here, go down one, and then work your way back up and down. Pick the four that you want to shoot. I don't like to shoot the center of the rung. I just feel more comfortable on the outsides. I know some people might prefer to shoot like inside here, because then you can, if you want to shoot like right-handed shooter, you can tuck your gun against this beam here, and then come in the center side, and also tuck your gun against that beam. It's however you want to shoot it. I just feel more comfortable on the outsides of the rungs, because it's easier to get in and out of that position, because you can just kind of come to the side and lift up, drop back down in there. So that's how I shot it. You may have your own tactic, but figure out what you want to shoot and just rehearse it in your head, practice it, and execute it. Let's move on to, I think, the last stage we're going to run through. Last stage we're running through is called Are You From Tennessee? Because You're the Only 10 I See. 10-round stage, 120-second part time. We have 5 banks of targets. We have a 1/4-inch and 1/2-inch KYL at 35 yards. We have a 3 1/4 and 1-inch KYL at 45 yards. We have a 1 and a 1.5 on a double hanger at 65. 1 1/2 and a 2-inch on a double hanger at 75. Then we have a 2 and a 2.5 on a double hanger at 84 yards. It's a rooftop stage, as you can see here. Standard deal, no restrictions, standing rifle at the high ready, all gear in hand, mag in action open. On the start signal, ascend this rooftop and engage the targets, 1 shot each, near to far, large to small. So basically, you have 2 targets at every 5 distances. With a large and a small target, just shoot large, then small, then keep working your way out to the farthest one. Pretty straightforward. It's just going to be understanding your holdovers. And I don't know, would I dial? I don't know, it might be fun to dial, to be honest. Maybe or maybe not. I might just parallax it, to be honest. Because it's not fun to dial elevation and parallax multiple times, or for every position. But I think holding over in this do parallax should be good enough. But let's try this one out. Large to small. Oh, missed one. Need to hold a little bit to the little right. I'm just going to parallax out as I go along. What is it, 1.1? I just dialed it. I don't know why I just decided to dial my elevation. That was pretty easy. I don't know what to say about that. I did miss the KY though. I had to reread this after I shot it because it just was really easy, to be honest. But it is straightforward. I did miss a round. I missed the 1/2-inch KYL. I needed about a 10th left. I actually have a 10th left on the gun. There's a little bit of wind out there, so probably need to adjust should have adjusted for that. In any case, just ascend the rooftop, shoot large to small, near to far, and it's pretty straightforward. I adjusted parallax, and then for some reason I instinctively went to my elevation for the last set of targets and adjusted up. I feel like there's plenty of time if you have a good setup and then a bag to like get a good rear position, that like a rear rest, you have time to dial elevation if you want. So I was for sure dialing parallax moving out, more so so my trigger cam's in focus, but I think there's plenty of time that you can dial parallax and elevation instead of holding over. So I would probably recommend doing that. Just take the moment to get a good position. I started kind of like right here because I'm right-handed. I started on the left side of the rooftop, and I'm a little bit so that I can just lift my leg up, come over, drop my gun down, and then hop on top. I know some people will try to ascend it from like here. That's probably not a good idea. I would just, if anything, just set your gun down, then scale it, you know, or get your right leg over, put your gun down, and get in. So, and then if you're left-handed, just opposite way, just start on that side. And then I kind of set up right here, and I scoot it over more to the center just so I have more width on my body, just so I feel more comfortable. If you really want to game it, you can just set it down to the closer to the edge, just so you're faster. But there's so much time. I would just spend the extra 5 seconds or 10 seconds just to get yourself nice and situated, establish that position perfectly, get your rear rest set up, and then you're good. And you should be able to score a clean on this as long as you got your wind correct. But that's it for this Course of Fire. Let's go ahead and wind down this range vlog. I'm going to tear down the rest of my targets, and then we'll get out of here. All done with the February Course of Fire run through. In my opinion, this is a pretty straightforward. I would say it's kind of low on the difficulty scale. I mean, if we had, let's say we do a 1 to 5 difficulty scale, I'd like 1.5. It's pretty easy, I think. I think it's going to be easy for the experienced shooters, and it's going to be an easy one for newer shooters to try out. There is no prone stage. I didn't use a bipod. I left my bipod off the entire Course of Fire run through. Didn't need to use a bipod at all. So no prone, no use of bipods in the props. Just use bag, and you're good to go for front support. And then plenty of opportunities to use rear support, whether it's the tripod on the tripod optional stage, or just rear bag, or no bag for rear support. In any case, that's it for this kind of range vlog. Not much else happening today. Just wanted to get this done as far as the Course of Fire run through. Get it posted for everyone who's eager to shoot the February match. Our match at the West End Gun Club will be Sunday, February 23rd. So if you are interested to shoot the match in the Southern California area and you're in the area, maybe you're visiting, come on out. I'll put the link to the website in the registration page in the video description, so you can check us out if you're interested. And if you're traveling, you don't have a gun, we do have a loaner rifle that you can use. Just got to let me know in advance. You can borrow that gun. Anything else to say? Nope, not much else to say. Hopefully, the trigger cam's been running okay for me. I'm just getting used to hitting the record button, because that's kind of the thing I have to remember to do. The buttons aren't all that great, to be honest. You have to really press them with authority. And even then, if you press them really hard, sometimes they don't turn on. So I don't know, there's a way you have to press them. But I'll do a review of it. I've already beaten this thing up in a couple matches, and I've already gotten some of the anodizing kind of scratched up here. But I'll put out a review on the Trigger Cam 2.1 Plus. There's plenty of reviews out there. There's not much else to say about this, but I figure I might as well just tell people what it's all about who are wondering what the 2.1 Plus is. Anyway, that's it for today, January 28th here at the West End Gun Club. Thanks for watching. See you in the next vlog, and maybe I'll see you at the next match.